It'll be on the other one.
Okay.
Hey, welcome. Anyway, this is Converse about the Verse. My name is Black.
I'm Ruby.
And we're here to talk about Star Citizen, all things for the news. We are trying out a new streaming platform, the Meld Studio. And so at the moment, we're trying to work through a couple of things still. Like I don't see the chat box. Let me see. It should be here. There we go. Can't hear Liesel.
Wow.
Say. You can't say hey? All right.
She says no.
All right. So that's where it's at. There you go. She said something. No, stop. Don't. She's going to knock my coffee over. She keeps trying to tap it. All right. So Saul, I'm assuming you can hear us okay? We got the chat. I see Twitch.
Nice. Yep.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, we'll go ahead and jump into the show. Hopefully everything works out pretty good. So anyway, like we were saying, I'm Black. This is Ruby. And this is Liesel. And she's ready for her treat. Come on. And we are here to talk about, of course, Star Citizen. There's quite a bit to talk about this week. Simply because there's been some stuff with Evocati, well, not Evocati, but PTU, and there's been lots of leaks this week, as we would expect heading into CitizenCon. So we've got some of those to discuss. The very first thing we do, though, is we do a question of the week. Ruby, what's our question of the week?
All right. When we see Nyx.
Did we do that last week? That's
We did, but you put it on here again.
Okay, we're revisiting the question. When is Nyx coming? Welcome, old school. So last week, I think I said something about maybe next year or possibly later next year. Like we weren't really sure. I think Ruby said something along the lines of,
I don't know.
She don't know. Yeah.
I was like, I don't know. I was like, although everything you were saying, I was like, I could be right.
But since last week, we now have a lot of leaks. I forgot to give her water.
And we have changed our minds.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Usually you have to wait a minute.
Black forgot to give.
I forgot to give her water before she started.
So now she's rooting at her bowl.
All right.
And letting him know he's going to have to take a 5.
Give me just literally 1 second because she's not going to stop until I do. Give me 1 second. Lord Liesel.
Do you have water?
I think I do. Yes, I got water.
Okay.
I got to put you on the checklist. Yeah, I gotta put the water on the checklist. Yeah, all right. She's got water now. She is very demanding. And she will definitely let you know what she needs. All right. Anyway, sorry about that. Welcome back. So anyway, because of what we've had going on, and the leaks and everything, there have been several leaks. Anything from mission text. There's a new event.
Yes.
I think it's like 6 parts that's coming up. There's ATC audio that's leaked.
Yes.
There's ATC audio that's leaked for all of they're changing Stanton and I think Pyro as well. Although Pyro may not be changed. But there are lots of audio. There's lots of missions. We have our ASD mission, which seems like it's heading towards Nyx. Yep.
Yeah.
There's just lots of leaks about Nyx. And I mean, the mission itself, the fact that it's so detailed in what's happening, and usually when we see mission leaks like this, it's usually only 1 or 2 updates away. That's usually what they're doing. They're throwing that in there. So that's the big thing. I think now we're looking at Nyx possibly being in as early as the end of this year. If we stick with the ASD cadence of, so right now we're about to finish off the Pyro mission. Earlier this year, the narrative dev, I can't remember his name, he said that we would have an A and a B story. I don't know which one's A or B. I think ASD is probably the A, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yes, Liesel is definitely the boss when it comes to her demands. Come on, Liesel. Come on. All right.
Okay.
But anyway, I don't know if the ASD storyline is the A story or what. But regardless, the Pyro story was one of those, and it's about to end. We are in 432. We're literally going to have a couple of other missions similar to what we've already had, ending with a big bang with a fight the Polaris or hunt the Polaris, and the person that's over the Citizens for Prosperity, I think is what they're called. They're going to be on that one, and they're supposedly getting killed, assassinated, whatever, by us whenever we kill the ship. So that will be the end of them. That should be the end of that storyline. And from there, it looks like we'll be taken back up at ASD. So if the ASD storyline picks back up, will it be for November, December, or will they push it off until 2026? But it looks like it's headed towards, Headhunters for real. It looks like it's definitely heading toward the Nyx system, because that's where, for people that did the ASD currently, we saw the Vandal strung up.
Right.
Vandal are in Nyx.
So just to be clear, Black and I did the story backwards. We did not start in Pyro.
No, we did not.
We started in Stanton, and then we went to Pyro.
Yeah.
Because I was confused, because I was like, it would make sense if he had a run to Pyro after that, but
after Stanton.
Yeah, but now they're way with the Vandal, it made sense.
Yeah, it's funny because one of the things we do, which we'll talk about next, is what did we do last week in the game? And what we did last week in the game as a group on our Friday nights is that we went to the ASD facility in Pyro, which is part of this.
Right.
And that's actually the first one where you would start it at, and then you'd go kill the big worm and all that. So that's we did it backwards.
Yeah, 100%. we did it backwards.
So maybe yes. So Ruby was asking, why did it start in Pyro and then go to Stanton and then go to Nyx? Like, why did it go in that order? And I don't know the answer to that. Maybe if we do it all and we can see the whole story unfold, maybe it'll make more sense. I don't know. But that's, that was her question to me. And I was just like, I don't know. That narrative guy, I guess that'd be a good question for him.
Yeah. Because I was like,
Dave Haddock. That's his name.
I think. I just didn't understand why he would leave Pyro, go to Stanton, then have to travel back through Pyro to go to Nyx. It just seemed like a lot of back and forth.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. But anyway, that's our take on Nyx. It's been the hot topic this week for everyone. So it's basically, I think there's a good chance we're going to Nyx. And I think it's definitely within 6 months, I'd say. But if the way the stories have been the way they've been spaced out, I'd say as early as December, possibly. In our Discord, we were talking earlier today. I think earlier last week or earlier this week, we were talking about what are the holdups to bring Nyx in? Is server meshing a holdup? And I don't think server meshing is a holdup for Nyx. I think Sala brought up a good point about they're going to have to add more servers or whatnot. So if they, that gets expensive if they're trying to add more servers, especially since they can't dynamically shut them down. If they got 1 or 2 for Pyro, 1 or 2 for Stanton or whatever, and nobody's in Pyro, they still have to pay for those servers, and they can't just pull it from there. So the servers still have to be up. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how that works. I don't think we definitely know dynamic server meshing is not in a state to where it can just shut down automatically. And they're not going to be doing that. So I think there's a good chance we still go to Nyx. At first, I was thinking in some limited form, maybe. But then I watched a video from Foxy the other day on explaining, how big Nyx is or how small it actually is. And there's not a lot out there. So, maybe...
But he did bring a really good point about how far away the jump gate is.
Oh yeah, the jump gate if in pyro to get the Knicks is way out.
There needs to be something in between.
Yeah,
because you may not
some
even
ships
have enough
may not
fuel.
be able to have fuel. Yeah, it's a good video. Foxy just put it out, I think yesterday or the day before. He was going over everything of Knicks, and that was a very good point. On the map currently, the Knicks jump gate is very far out on the outside of pyro space, and it looks like it's easily a greater distance than like maybe going from like Gaslight to Ruin Station, which is I think like 96 grandmas away or whatever. So
because I know he was doing the measurement. What is it, at Terminus? To I mean
it was very far.
It was a lot.
So yeah, that was a very, very.
Which made me ask Black, because I was not educated in this either. I was like, so is there a wormhole in Stanton to Knicks?
Mm-mm.
And I was like, okay, so the only way you can get there is through pyro.
Yeah, you have to go to pyro, and then you have to.
Okay.
Yes, some systems are like that. They only have one way to get to them,
and you have to go through
multiple. Some of them, I think, do. Some of them do have multiple ways to get there. Like you can get to pyro and Terra from Stanton. Because there's a Terra and a Magnus jump gate in Stanton. And then somewhere else is going to also have a Terra jump gate as well. So I think there's like maybe a couple of ways you could get to Terra. You just couldn't probably get there from pyro though.
Okay.
Or something like that. That's about how they look. But anyway, so that takes care of that. As far as channel news, we will be streaming at what time, Ruby?
At 2 p.m. Eastern.
We'll probably get on maybe 1:30 Eastern Saturday for the CitizenCon watch party. So if any of you guys want to join, there's plenty of watch parties out there, but anybody who wants to come in and hang out with us and react and talk about what we're seeing as we're seeing it, we will be here. So yeah, that should be a nice little thing we can kind of do together. That takes care of our channel news, and of course, let's go ahead and get into like basically the week in Star Citizen. So let's go ahead and pull up our first. Okay. Sorry, gotta come over here and do it this way. There we go. All right, so the very first thing we need to do is. I'm going to do it the other way. Let's go ahead and do the image first. Oh no, I don't have it as an image. Sorry about that. We're going to go ahead and show off the sneak peek of the week, which is kind of funny. And I didn't pull it. Let me pull it up real quick. Oh, I did have it. I have it over there. Anyway, that is a sneak peek of the week. And anybody who watched the video about the worm yesterday, or not the worm, it's the it's like a snake, the Ormandi.
Yeah.
You'll know that they have these in the ASD around. It's actually around the second part of the ASD, like where we went, and you'd get like the legs or whatnot. So they have these automated turrets now. They had 2 of them, I think.
They did. They had one when we were going into, it was like that.
I know one is right where the big tracks are, where you can go down and get the pants.
Yep.
There's that big hallway there that has like a lot of people like kind of camped out in that corner. There's one there, and then the other one
was in the room that after that you have to go into that next room where the next set of armor or the next set of boxes. So it was an open room.
So
you have to clear.
There were 2 of them. So there were reports that each shot that would hit you would be roughly like 30% of your life, 25-30%, and I think that was with heavy armor on.
Yeah, that's what they were saying.
So these things are definitely going to change bunkers. I would look. I mean, they put them here first in the ASD. I would look for them to possibly, maybe even this update, show up around bunkers and everywhere. It was kind of cool because when you go in the hallway there, these are on the roof, and then the guys are back. So this is like, it's like multi-levels of having to get through them. They were kind of easy to destroy, and I don't know if it was server performance or if they just need to be like tweaked a little bit, but they were kind of easy enough to get around, and somebody could just go up and shoot them from underneath and take them out. But I do expect those to get harder. So it'd be even cooler if there's like a shield around it, and you had to take out the shield first to do it. That'd be like a little.
Or if they were rotating, because they shot like side to side and front, but they couldn't do down.
Yeah, they couldn't
rotate back behind it.
Yeah, they didn't seem to be moving like they probably should be, but yeah. So these are definitely going to add a whole new flavor and flair to all of the bunker. They could go anywhere. Bunkers. They could.
It was cool though.
Yeah, it was very nice, and they are laser, like laser repeater type, and they do stagger as well. So yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, very cool. Even though we just saw that as a sneak peek last week, it was very interesting and cool to already see them in the game. I'm glad that they've already added them. All right. So what we got next? Next we have what I was just about to show, which was one of the leaks we had is for a variant that we were actually talking about last week and probably the week before that as well, which is a variant for the Apollo. We saw hints about that in the monthly report, and I was seriously, saying that I thought this was going to be like maybe a possible cargo variant. So this is, someone did a mock-up. So the leaks were actually just files showing the name of the ship, which is the Hermes, but it was like linked with the Apollo, so that's how they knew it was a variant of the Apollo. And it was just a couple things that mentioned cargo or whatnot. So someone came on and they actually went ahead and tried to create like a model. There's a few content creators out there who will try to model ships, what they think they'll look like. Like there's one guy that's been doing like the Ironclad, like trying to make what the Ironclad will look like in game. So he works on that every week or so. But I think it may even be the same person that did this. But yeah, so they did like an idea of where the cargo could possibly be. There's ideas that the cargo, like maybe the roof opens, like the Ironclad is going to, and that's how you'll get the cargo in. That's kind of limiting that that's how they're going to do it, because if you're in a hangar, how would you unload that?
Right, you'd have to go top up,
There's also talk that the reason it's taking longer than the Apollos is because they're having to redo the back end to make it wider to get bigger boxes in. So, there's definitely sense. They did a couple of pictures. Let's see, what's the other one?
Where'd the chat box go?
It should be there if no one's talking there.
Okay, I just want to make sure it's there.
Hold on a second. Let me pull up the image. The second one is this one. Yeah, I think they were working on the back there a little bit, like what that back hatch would look like or how much room there is. They were kind of guessing that possibly there would be around 200 to maybe 250 cargo.
Okay.
So it would put it in the range of maybe a little better than the raft. So it's just going to depend on a few things. But yeah, so that was that leak. That was one of many leaks. We also had, let's go back. Let's see. Let's go back over here. And we had what else did we have? I know we had the PTU that was coming. Yeah. This is not the latest one. There was one that just went out right before we started. They've been sending these things out the last couple of weeks, like right before we start. This is last night's patch notes, though. Basically, it was them talking about how they were adding the worm in. There were some changes to some of the bulk commodities and like the pricing and stuff for trade balancing and stuff. We also had some construction material changes. I have not gone in and done any of this. I meant to the other day, and I actually tried, but then I had some issues. The servers were kind of acting wonky, but I did get in. I did do something, though. The very next thing I wanted to show you was this right here. So this right here, this was me in the PTU. This is showing off another little surprise that hit, which was the in Pyro, there's now external cargo grids. So this is going to help. This is going to help people with the with like the Hull C or whatnot. But anyway, just a second here. Sala OG, you guys still here? But yeah, the cargo grids they're pretty big. Yeah, I can't see it. They're saying something, but it's not showing up.
That's what I'm saying. I didn't think the chat box was. It's like when you try to change it over, it disappeared.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll keep going. But anyway, yeah, it was interesting to get to go check out these external things. There's actually an inventory when you go over to the panel and whatnot. There's actually an inventory there, and you're able to use the panel. You just can't you can actually make the elevator go up and down for the cargo elevator, but nothing will happen. Like you can't put anything on it. You can't call anything out. Like if you have stuff at the station, you can see it at the terminal, but you can't really call it and bring it up or whatnot. So there's all of that. Let's see. That did anything? It did not. That's the chat window. But yeah, it was pretty cool to get out there and see that it's, I don't know if it's going to function in game yet. And there's that Star Kitty outfit that I know OG loves so much. But yeah. So yeah, it was interesting to get out there and see it. And I was trying to show you like how big it is out there. I was looking for them. I know back at the very beginning of the video when I was flying in, you can actually see like where they're located at. So that I see each one of those things there. Each one of those is one of the elevators, and it was like this is in Pyro, so this was like like over there is back where you would land your ships, and these are kind of off to their own side there. So that's where they'll be located. That's what you'll be looking for. They're pretty easy to spot. So yeah. So all in all, pretty cool stuff. All right. Moving on, we did have some new armor that people have been talking about. This should be coming with 432, but we don't know where yet. I know that Foxy and them, they were looking to see...
they said they couldn't find the boxes.
Yeah, they said they couldn't find the boxes. Even the boxes that were there before.
Yeah, were missing.
Yeah, they couldn't find them. So let's see where this armor is.
May have taken those out.
Oh yeah, here we go. So we got different colors. There's a black. The black looks okay. Let's see what else we got. We've got... trying to find one of the better colors. The camo and the yellow was kind of okay. It's got like these yellow wires. Looks almost like computer wires or something that are down there.
It's fine.
Yeah, so those are pretty cool.
It seems like they're going with that helmet.
That hides your face.
Yeah.
Yeah, here's an orange set. It looks all right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think this may be like an armor type that maybe we mix and match. Like maybe you don't like the helmet, but
No, I get that. But I was just curious if there was like maybe purpose behind like why like all of a sudden this type.
Yeah, I'm
or
not
this
sure.
design. So
yeah, I'm not really sure, but yeah,
just curious.
It's a decent armor set. It's not too bad. All right. So next up we have, this is kind of full. This was fun here. This is a little bit of footage. This is actually going to be from Foxy last night. They did. They were doing the worm, and so, or not the worm, but the new.
The snake.
The snake, the Yormandi is what it's called. Here, let's back it up a little bit so you can see when it starts and
thing. It's cool.
Yeah, it's very interesting, like the way it's all
and the mechanic of it.
The mechanics.
Yeah.
Oh, someone keeps stopping. Let's leave it up. Yeah, so basically, and they've already put out an update to actually change some of this as well. So like where you can be at, but basically over to the left there are these guys. They're pulling out these canisters.
They're like batteries. They're like like battery packs.
Like,
Remember in the engineering side, you're having to put the batteries
inside of things.
Yeah, around the worm. Well, it's similar to those.
So what we think you do here, based on what they did, I think they thought you had to like throw them in the water and shoot them, but I think you just throw them in the water.
Right.
Like maybe you got to get them close to them. But so you're throwing these battery packs in the water near it, and it's damaging it. right now, it doesn't look like at this point it's the Yormadi isn't taking any damage. You have to wait until you see these sores come up on its sides, and then at that point you start shooting the sores, and that's when you start doing damage to it. However, he has his own, or she, whatever, has its own attacks using, as you can see there, like lightning or electricity. And it was very interesting. So the electricity is also supposedly supposed to jump. When it hits one person, it's supposed to jump to others too.
So it can like electrocute.
It can electrocute multiple people.
Yeah,
Or damage multiple people.
real.
It's an AoE.
Yeah, that's cool.
So that's going to be pretty cool to see that, play out.
And when they shoot the lightning, it actually can break the rock that you're hiding behind.
Yeah, which I think that's what he's showing.
Yeah, that's what he's trying to show, is that it broke the rock.
So our question was, is this Maelstrom, or is this like so Zach came on today and he said that one of the things, one of the new techs that came with this, because many people were like, oh, you just reskin the worm. He goes, no, there's more to it than that. But one of the things is this is the first NPC that can shoot like laser type of weapon, like,
right.
Or energy type of weapons like that. So I was wondering, is the thing breaking it because of Maelstrom, or is that laser acting like a mining laser when it hits the rock, and that's what's breaking it? But hopefully it's Maelstrom. But it's a very, very cool fight. Definitely can't wait to do it with our group. Look at that.
It's breaking. Yeah,
it's funny because if you watch this video from Foxy, he kept calling it like the Medusa.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, it's more like Godzilla, like with the way he's shooting the energy blast, because he was like, it's going to turn you into stone. I was like, no, it's not turning you into stone. It's just jacking you up, man. It's like taking that full like Godzilla breath. But they already put fixes in today's update that's probably live right now. And supposedly they've worked on getting some of those mechanics worked out a little bit better, making that beam hit multiple people. Hopefully they make, at the end of it, you can take the tongue.
The tongue and the eyes.
Tongue and the eyes.
So what was really cool is, I don't know if you noticed, there was two.
Yeah,
one
two.
Popped up in one pool, one popped up in the other.
Right.
And then about halfway through, they were both in the same pool together. So then you had two that you had to fight off. Yeah, it shows it right there that you're fighting two at the same time.
Yeah.
But there's 3 pools in there. So I was like, oh, it'd be cool if they added a third one.
Yeah, there were people asking if they were going to do a third one.
Yeah, I was like, that's awesome.
But supposedly they did buff its health or whatnot, so it shouldn't be as easy as what they did here, because they went in this like blind. They didn't know what to expect.
Yeah.
And they got it,
Yeah.
And I think it should be a little bit harder than that.
I mean, we haven't killed the big worm yet, so, and I know that's a hard fight, so I would assume this would be too.
I'm wondering though, if if you are wasting ammo, if you shoot at it before those shots happen, before those swords happen.
If it's not absorbing or not puncturing. Yeah. But it's cool, the end when it's dying, what it does at the end.
The death rattle.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah. You almost feel bad for her there.
You do. You do feel bad.
But so you can take the eyes and the tongue. That's how you're going to get the binoculars. I don't know if it's the eyes or the tongue or both.
It would make sense if it was the eyes, but I mean, I get it. It's whatever.
Yeah.
So, but it was really cool. The eyes are big.
Yeah.
Like, they're really pretty too.
They're
like dragon eyes.
The players, when they hold them, are like this big.
Yeah.
They look like dragon eyes.
They look like dragon eyes. It was cool.
Yeah. Overall, it's a cool fight. I think the ASD facility has been like the best event type or just narrative mission system that they've done yet. Overall it's been really good, and this is going to end the ASD in Stanton with a bang. I think it's a really good thing. So
yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, this looks fun. Every bit of ASD has pretty much been fun. Even the 0G part, which is a little aggravating whenever when the things don't work right.
Just learning the mechanics. I feel like it's like an MMO raid where you have to learn the mechanics of it before you get comfortable with it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you can still wipe.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah, look at that eye. It's really nice.
Yeah, they did a good job with it. I know.
Yeah.
So it does. It looks more like a dragon there than it does.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's awesome.
Or else like the Eye of Sauron.
Yeah. It's nice.
But yeah, it was a very cool fight. It was it's going to be interesting to see, get to do it ourselves. We'll probably do it like, maybe the first week it comes out. Hopefully that'll be like another week or two. There are some people that believe the update is going to happen tomorrow or Saturday. I am not feeling that way. We're not seeing release candidates. We're still seeing some pretty big issues. There's like a big issue with inventory that Foxy was talking about. So, and that looks like it's a stop, like a full stop kind of issue that they don't want to release.
Yeah, because when they were harvesting the pieces, they couldn't. Well, first they were having issues harvesting, but then they were having some issues with like inventory, putting them in the inventory too.
Yes.
So, yeah.
But overall, it's a pretty good fight.
Yeah.
And it's definitely fun.
Yeah.
It looks fun. So yeah. So anyways, that's one of the big things in 432. It's probably like the last big thing that we'll talk about tonight. There's a bunch of salvaging things that have been going on as well. I think we're still waiting to see where that lands, as far as if it's how the money payout is versus the work, how the extra time it's going to take for refining. There are some people I think that are just selling it raw without even refining it. So I don't know what's going to be best there. But anyway, moving on to the week's news, we also had subscriber, and of course it's this was actually the very first image we got of the Yormandi, which is kind of crazy because that's kind of Star Citizen leaked it themselves, at least a color version of it. But yeah, so you get if you're the $10 one, you get the jacket, and then if you're 20, you get both. You get the little diorama there. What
I'm curious about is that how many people that would actually buy a jacket like that in real life?
I mean, yeah.
I
mean, if it was for the in-game animal,
I know they would. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Like, that would be something I'm like, hey, that would be a good, like, hey, put it in your store for people to buy for real, like for themselves. If it's an in-game thing, yeah. And
then the vehicle of the month that you get the Mantis if you do the 10, and then you get both the Mantis and the new Meteor if you do that. Look at that price difference. Wow. It's like $110 price difference.
Oh, yeah.
Dang.
That is crazy.
But yeah, so that's the subscriber stuff that just came out Wednesday. No, yesterday.
Yep.
All right. And then there was also the infamous roadmap that came out yesterday. Oh, no, it was Tuesday. The subscriber alert, I think, came out. Roadmap. So they basically, it's basically just, telling us what's already coming in 432. Just a lot of things are still tentative, which to me that kind of points to say also that the update's not happening in the next day. Like if they released a roadmap yesterday, they would know already if the structural salvage is actually, I think it's confirmed or something they say when it's. So still tentative. So they're still working on it. There are some laser repeaters. It's sizes 1, 2, and 3 that they did some, I guess some different style and looks to them. Maybe they'll do some sound differences too. That'd be nice. I like laser repeaters. That's mostly what I use, unless I'm doing unless we're shooting really big targets, and then you go with laser cannons. But yeah, so it'll be nice to see. They did some rework on the missiles, I think, last update. So I think they're just making their way around to the various ship weapons and just tweaking and making changes, making them sound and look better and distinguish them, I think, a little bit more between the brands. Wickelow's going to have some new ships. The A2's coming, Starfighter, Inferno, and Ion. The Prowler utility, which is new this year, that's coming. And of course, they're going to have the upgraded components. So if you like...
And paints.
And paints, yes. Yeah, they have unique liveries too. So if you're into torture and you like putting things on elevators and hoping that they'll count towards one of these ships, there you go. Something to look forward to. There's the AI FPS turret that we showed off. That was part of the
Yep.
sneak peek last week, and then we talked about it earlier.
Talked about the Frontier Fighter
Talked-
finale. Yep.
Yeah, talked about that. We talked about the new Palatino armor set. That's the
Yep.
heavy one we just showed off. One more thing about the turret. That same video we were just showing with Foxy and them, they actually showed video as well of that turret. So that was on there as well in that video. It's pretty cool to watch. Well, before this is a little side rant, not a rant, but little side note here. I've talked about Grollo before, the content creator that was a engineer. He just put out a video yesterday discussing why Star Citizen is the game for almost everyone. It's a very good video. He talks about basically what we know if we've been playing it, that it's got something for everyone. You know, if you're somebody who plays sports games,
Yep.
you know, there's sports in Star Citizen. If you're FPS, there's FPS stuff, but he breaks it down really well. He talks about not only, you know, the different game features that are here, but why they're good here versus a game where that's trying to do too much and can't do anything right. He talks about all of that. So it's a very good video. As I've said before, you should check his channel out. He's great, explains things very well, and yeah. So definitely do that. Anyway, back over here, we've got the mission pickup on location. You know what that is, Ruby?
Is that when you go into an area and then a mission pops up?
No. This is actually cooler than that.
Okay.
It's at Wicklow. I don't know where else it's going to be, but you go to Wicklow's when you go to his little hangar area. There are now, you can touch the screen, like your ASOP terminal screen. You can touch the screen to select a mission.
Oh, that's nice.
So you can pick up his missions and pick them up that way off the screen, and it's pretty cool. A little bit.
Okay.
It'll be nice to see those pop up in other places.
Absolutely.
It'd be cool, like Outpost.
Instead of having to look for contracts and things,
right? Instead of having to do that, it'd be cool that you go to a kind of like a job board or a mission board like you'd see in a game.
Yeah.
So like in other games, you just go up and like there's like a poster on the thing.
Right.
And you click on the poster.
Click on it and it tells you the mission.
It's like that. So,
okay. Yeah. That's cool.
So I think that might be a little part of some of the new mission tech that's coming in that they keep talking about this mission tech version 2 or whatever that's coming. So
yeah,
hopefully that's
awesome.
what that is.
Yeah.
All right. So the Yormandi, of course, we're seeing that. It still says tentative. It's pretty much in there, and the cave. That was pretty much all that they showed on there. There's not much going on with the roadmap. I expect the next roadmap will probably be a little better because maybe we'll see Saturday they should be, throwing everything out there. And so, we should see some new stuff. And then maybe they'll add that to the roadmap and yeah.
Yeah.
I know last week we said we're going to talk about what we think CitizenCon would have this year. And honestly, I don't have I don't have a lot of guesses. I have some hopes. Biggest one would be we hope to see base building, crafting, something along those lines. They kind of, Jared the last time I think he was talking to Benoit, he kind of said things like, there's been years where they showed things over and over again, and I don't think they're going to be doing that this year because they only have 2 hours. So I wouldn't expect to see anything about engineering because they discussed engineering. It's supposed to be going into a tech preview after the tech preview they're working on now. The tech preview they're working on now is Vulkan and the Mission version 2 system. So once they get through that preview tech and they add that stuff into the next patch or whatever, the next tech preview is supposed to be engineering.
Okay.
And they said they want to get that in people's hands by the end of the year. So whether that means fully released or just on the tech preview, I don't know. But engineering is supposed to be coming. It's definitely almost a year late at this point. Late, but because it was promised for 4.0 and it got pulled last minute. So
there's something we should have mentioned it at the very beginning. We were talking about
Nix.
No, not Nix, but our channel. So for those of you that don't know, this weekly show is kind of to update Ruby as well.
Oh, yes,
on things.
yes.
I don't know if those of you that have been watching us may have already, understood that. But for those of you that don't, so I tell I tell people I'm kind of like more of that weekend gamer. I'm a weekend warrior with it. And so there's things that happen throughout the week that Black's like, hey, you need to look at this, Ruby. Hey, this is what happened. And so when we talk about it on Thursdays, I am sometimes learning along too that, oh, I didn't know that was. And so Black is like, updating me as well as providing updates for the show. So
Right.
I just kind of wanted to throw that out there in case you were not aware that's why sometimes it seems like he's talking at me. It's because he is. It's because he really is. He's updating me. So
Yeah.
I just wanted to throw that out there.
Yeah, that's it kind of works out too, because I know there's a lot of you out there who are busy working during the week, and so you don't have time to follow things as closely. So I happen to work from home. Ruby does too, but Ruby's a lot more busy than I am, and so since I have a lot more free time, I'm the one that basically puts this together, and and is the one that'll come to her and be like, "Oh my God, you ain't gonna believe what we just found out,"
Right.
whatever. Sometimes I know she's not listening because she's trying to focus on work, and then but this is the chance for her to
learn everything,
go over it, and then
Yes.
she can also ask questions, because again, she's basically some of you out there, and so I'm sure she'll pop in with a question that some of you thought of too. So it works out. That's kind of how the dynamic of the show is going to work. Is
he's updating me.
I'm updating her. Yeah. So, all right. But anyway, we got the roadmap done. The leaks and the citizen contradictions. That's what we're talking about now. And basically, I mean, as we see here, Nick's. I'm pretty sure we're going to see this same guy here. We're going to see him. He's going to come out and probably give us the update about Nyx. Hopefully that update is that it's coming, it's ready, and that'll be cool. Like we've already discussed that. Base building. So if you watch, there was a video I watched today. It was Foxy, and he said that he was talking about. Oh, he was talking about the. What was he talking about? He linked it to crafting. I can't remember what it was now. It's one of the new features that's coming, and I think it's the salvaging. He was talking about the salvaging, and because of how they worded it in salvaging, I think on the roadmap. In fact, let's look at that again real quick. How they worded the salvage.
There, structural salvaging. Keep going.
Okay.
Right there, very first one.
Yes, so because of how they worded it here, related to upcoming work on crafting. He said that means crafting is coming soon. And I was like, that's not what that means. I mean, I hate to, to be that person, but I mean, they could come on Saturday. I could be completely wrong. They could say crafting is we're going to have it by the end of the year. Don't think it's going to happen. But he literally said, crafting's coming soon. Oh, this means crafting's coming soon. And I was like, no, it doesn't mean that. It just means they're putting in the work now that's going to be required for crafting. They also said earlier, whenever they announced this in the patch notes, that this is like they're making these changes to salvage now because they don't want to change it later. These changes are going to be the foundation for what's coming with that part of crafting. So they've already mentioned that's what this is for. It doesn't mean that, yes, we're getting this in, and then the very next update we're getting crafting. That's not going to happen. Crafting, I still think crafting is probably like something we'll see maybe mid next year. I mean, I'll be surprised if we see it before mid next year. Could even be late next year. But I just want to throw that out there, that for anyone that could be hearing that crafting is, or getting excited that they think crafting is about to happen. I mean, don't get me wrong. I want to see it happen. And there's so many things that I would love to see, because personally, I'm not a fan of having to go do PvP to upgrade my ships. I don't like that. Like, I absolutely don't like that. Don't get me wrong, PvP is fine, but I don't like that as being the only avenue to upgrade my shields and my power plant and stuff.
Yeah.
It's kind of, and it's also very hit or miss what you're going to get. I mean, you do all this work. I was looking at the steps to go through the contested zones, And I mean, I've run contested zones, but with other people, and really wasn't paying attention to all the steps, because sometimes you go in and they've already got cards that they got from one place or whatever. But to go get the actual components is a lot of steps. Like you got several steps you got to do, and you got to keep in mind each one of these steps is usually a trip out to somewhere else. You're going through multiple floors or multiple areas to find cards or whatever, and every step of that way, you've got possible PvP. As soon as you enter there, possible PvP. So you're trying.
But all the contested zones are in Pyro.
They are all in Pyro.
And
yes.
I mean, right there, that tells you.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, 100%, yeah. But I mean, I just don't like that's the only way we can upgrade our ships to these better components. Yeah. I mean, well, technically, there's a second way. You can buy stuff on the marketplace,
right?
Which I actually tried to do this last week. I wanted a couple of power plants, and I went through the little website and got invited to the Discord to finish the deal, and the person never came on. They stick you in a channel just with that person, and they never responded. So, my very first time trying to use that system to buy a part didn't work. I need to try again because I really would like to have them. I'm probably gonna wait till the next update at this point. And we are talking about going out to do some ourselves. But I'm just saying, crafting, I'm very much looking forward to it for that reason. So when we can craft our own components, like that'll be
it's
wonderful.
Awesome. Yeah.
But anyway, as far as predictions, there's a 2-hour show. I mean, I hope Nick's doesn't take up a lot of it, because if they are, it'd be nice to say, yeah, we're going to go to Nick's. And then they maybe show an update as to what's going to be at Nick's, and that'll be nice. But I would like to see things that we know are going to come in the next 6 months. If they say, I don't want to see like we did last year where we saw us being able to build space stations. Like, that was cool to see, but we're not going to see that. That's years away. That's 4 years away at least. I mean, I could be wrong, but I doubt it.
So you want to see more of the short term?
I want to see the short term. I want to see this is what's coming in the next 6 months, because I mean, we haven't got a lot of that this year to begin with.
Right.
The Inside Star Citizens have been like very lacking. Usually when this Inside Star Citizen comes out, it's for, they have the special ship editions, which is just showing a ship that we already know is about to hit that week, or it's they'll show like the new ASD facility, but we've already seen it played on from content creators. Right. So we haven't really seen anything new on ISC. So if that's what we're going to get, that would be cool. So I'm keeping expectations low for this. I still think it could be great. I just hope that's what we see is. Yeah. I mean,
you want quality versus quantity.
Yeah. I want to see stuff coming.
No, that's understandable. And hopefully that's why, it's a 2-hour.
Yeah.
There's more quality.
Right. And I think that's what they're going to shoot for, honestly. Yeah. And as long as they can keep Chris Roberts from coming up on stage and giving any dates,
That'd be good.
We'll be okay. Because I could see him be it. I mean, even last year, he didn't do a lot, but he did come on and say, you'll have Pyro by the end of the year. Asterisk, we did have Pyro by the end of the year. It was in a tech preview. It wasn't, fully live, and you had to be a wave 1 or better to get in, which means you had to most likely subscribe to get into it. But yeah, that's how we got Pyro in 2024 last year. It really wasn't, fully in. So
yeah.
But yeah, so that's the predictions. Not much as far as prediction goes, but I think it'll still be fun. I think we can. Yeah. I think it'll be cool. Hopefully something happens that's really exciting and Ruby like yells so loud the mic blows out. That'll be cool.
I doubt that'll happen, but
All right. But anyway, so as we said before, we'll be here Saturday, so make sure you catch that with us. And that's pretty much it for all the news. I think we covered pretty much everything. I do apologize that the chat window went out during this. I hope that pretty much most of the show worked okay. Again, this is a brand new system. We had issues with OBS like our first 2 or 3 shows. So I went with a brand new thing. I had to remake all the scenes and everything. So apparently the chat window got lost somehow, or it stopped working, I think. But I will work on getting that fixed for Saturday, because we definitely would like to have that. We need to have some.
We need some conversation going.
If anything, I'll have Twitch pulled up on the side, and we'll look at the conversation that way. But yes, this will go out tomorrow on YouTube, And so for anyone that, missed it, I did try to include our times on our thing now, some branding or whatever. And so we're here every Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern. I don't think we're really going to miss any times. I mean, we may even do this Thanksgiving because that's on a
We'll see about that.
We'll see. We'll see.
We'll see about that.
But anyway, that's it for the show. I've been Black.
I'm Ruby.
And we will see you guys Saturday. Take care.